Hey, welcome to Cow Free Kicks. This video is all about the New Balance Tektrel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new and you've not seen one of my videos before, I always look into 5 different categories that I think are really important when you're making that decision into buying a new pair of sneakers. And they are looks, comfort, weight, breathability and price. And then at the end of the video, I will give these New Balance Tektrels an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along and you want to show a little bit of extra support, do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device. And whilst you're down there, if you've not done so already, please do take time to subscribe to the channel. So let's kick this review off as we always do by checking out these New Balance Tektrels on feet. This is a trail running shoe from New Balance that I think has quite a nice crossover into a lifestyle everyday sneaker as well. Currently available in a couple of different colorways via the New Balance website. I think for me though, this black and yellow colorway is the best one that there is at the moment. I really do like the hit of black and yellow on it, but I really do like as well the hit of the speckled kind of marble detailing that you get on areas that have this extra TPU protection around the upper of the sneaker. And just for overall for me, I really didn't like these shoes when I first got them out of the box and when I had them in hand. I tried them on once, put them back in the box and kind of dismissed them, came back to them, put them back on, and actually I do think they're much better on second time round. And the more I look at them and the more I wear them, the more I do actually like the way that this aggressive style shoe looks on feet. Now yes, they are predominantly a trail running shoe, so you've got a lot of features that are going to make them better for that side of things, which starts with this TPU guard that you get around the front of the toe box. That's on top of this very well perforated mesh fabric. On the tongue of the sneaker, you have some nylon yellow cabling that is attached to the tongue just to get a little bit of extra support and stability for the tongue as the laces run through that. And then the eye stays as well also have more of this speckled TPU reinforcement as well. You've got the New Balance branding, quite subtle, but does have a hint of reflection to it, again in this TPU covering on the middle of the foot. And then as you move towards the rear of the sneaker, you've got another nylon cable that runs from the toe box all the way around the side of the shoe, all the way round to the heel unit, which is very plain. It does have a little heel pull on it here, which will help to get these on because they do fit quite tight. And you move towards the other side of the shoe, you've got a little bit more New Balance branding there on this nylon cable that runs all the way around the outside of the shoe. And you also have additional eye stays here just for the laces that will also pull the shoe in from further down on the foot to get that extra support over the top of your foot. As you move towards the midsole for the shoe, it's very aggressively cut away. It's got loads of lines and cutaways. It's incredibly chunky. And then added to that, you've got an incredibly chunky kind of dagger-like outsole on these with this AT tread from New Balance, which is going to give you really, really good grip, but also they're going to be very hard wearing for those trail runs. The middle of the outsole here is just exposed mid foam. I don't know if that's the best option for a trail shoe. I prefer to see the grip running all the way through, but overall the amount of grip and protection you're going to get from these hardened areas where the rubberized outsole is probably going to be enough to make them a pretty good trail shoe, but also quite a nice everyday lifestyle sneaker. Now moving on to their comfort, I want to put this incredibly chunky unnamed midsole to their test on my back doorstep. So I do love the New Balance Hierro range of their trail running shoes, and I think they work incredibly well as an everyday lifestyle sneaker because they have the fresh foam midsole unit, which has got really nice responsive bounce back and give. But you could see from the step test that the unnamed midsole they've put on these Tektrels combined with this incredibly rugged AT outsole unit, unfortunately, doesn't offer great responsive bounce back and not too much give. These do ride on the firmer side, and I appreciate that they are a trail running shoe and you might want them to ride firm, but for an everyday lifestyle sneaker, you want that little bit of comfort and cushion, and you don't want to have that firm feeling all day long. And I feel that that does let them down a little bit as an everyday wear. Yes, if you want to take them on the trails and you prefer a firmer ride, then these are going to work for you, but I didn't enjoy how firm they were underfoot. And then when you get to the top of the sneaker, these do feel great on top of your feet. You get really nice pull and support from these additional eye stays around the tongue, and you've got that extra support as well from the nylon cable run that goes right throughout the tongue. You've got a really nice amount of padding around the heel, and the tongue is nice and softly padded as well. And this nylon mesh fabric in the toe box area is incredibly soft. It does feel really comfortable on top of your feet. These definitely do, fit-wise though, ride incredibly short. Now, width-wise, I've got slightly wider than average feet, and my toes did feel cramped in this toe box, but that's mainly due to the fact that these run incredibly short. So I definitely advise going half a size, if not a full size up in these if you are going to consider wearing them, because I found them incredibly cramped and my toe was right to the end of the shoe. I'm not sure you could see, but my big toe was almost sticking out because it didn't have that much room at the end of the toe box. So definitely a consideration if you're going to buy these. They do ride firm and definitely go up at least half a size. Now I want to move on to their weight, where I want to pop them on the scales. Great result in the weight test. These come in at 318 grams per shoe, which is a great achievement. As with most New Balances, they're well known for coming in at incredibly light weights. 318 grams for me is considered a lightweight shoe. I think anything under the 350 gram mark and below is lightweight. Anything below 300 grams is a bit of a freak, but anything above 400 grams I consider heavyweight. So coming in at 318 is a great weight. That is going to add to the comfort because these aren't going to weigh you down. And to be honest, considering they've got an incredibly chunky outsole and this huge chunk of midsole, they've done very well to keep the upper material so lightweight that they've only kept them to 318 grams per shoe. Now I want to move on to their breathability, where I want to pump this perforated mesh upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. Great result in the breathability test. You could see that these perforations in the toe box area here let loads and loads of smoke escape incredibly quickly. The slight downside is that you've got a lot of TPU detailing around the middle of the foot and towards the toe box. So even though the smoke escaped incredibly quickly from just this toe box area here, it was very limited from every other area of the shoe. I do think they're still going to offer you great breathability, but it is just going to be restricted to the toe box, unfortunately. Now moving on to their price, which is a bit of a highlight for these because these come in at just £100. Now when you consider the rising prices of sneakers, well, everything everywhere recently, especially in the last 6 months, to keep these down to £100 is a pretty fair price, but I do think that is a reflection of the fact that these are slightly moving towards the budget end of a trail running kind of everyday lifestyle shoe. I do think that it's probably worth trying to invest a bit more money to get a pair of Hieros because the comfort that you're going to get from them just completely outclasses this sneaker. And that's going to bring me on to my overall score for these New Balance Tektrels, and that is going to be a pretty solid 3 stars. I just think overall they're a pretty average shoe at a good price, and I don't think I can give them any lower than that because I do think the price is really good, and I do think they are very breathable for what they are. And even though the comfort's not great, there is still some comfort there. They're not incredibly flat and plank-like firm. They do offer some responsive bounce back. And looks-wise, they've grown on me. So I think 3 stars is a fair result. Now, if you've liked what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up like before you leave. You can also follow me on Instagram, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.